guys have one last night? Did you say you had one last night? And it was kind of a symbolic. Everybody, they shut the lights out in one town, blacked out the town. Everybody walked into town with candles and had this prayer meeting at the school, and or at the church, and it really came off nice, and it strengthened a lot of people. It took everybody all the way around who maybe doesn't know each other, and it kind of brought them in so everyone had an idea who was who. And it crossed a lot of boundaries in as far as the good. The guy in the suit, man, I'm saying, if I was going to be a yuppie, I want to go. See the guy on the right and the guy in the red sweater? That's Mario Cuomo. And if I ever get rich or run for politics, I want that man's table. I have never seen a man who spends more money on a suit than Mario Cuomo. Now, Mario Cuomo's like George Bush. He's an environmental governor. That's what he is. He's an environmental governor. So, Governor Cuomo came down from university. Kind of a little payoff thing. Going to give him $10,000 or $10 million for a ceramic corridor, and that meant all the professors were going to quit protesting. Because almost in the back of the building right behind is kind of symbolic. The great building right behind the Human Studies Department of Alpha University, and the entire faculty protested. I'm sorry. Oh, I know. I got to be able to see it. Now this is where you see all the
her child come on stage, right as Cuomo was making his opening remarks. And she handed him the petition from the mothers of Allegheny County. Now, you got network news running. Cuomo doesn't say, get out of here. I mean, he's got to react to this. So he reaches over to take the baby to allow the woman to speak. You know, I mean, this guy's good. He's just great. And as he reaches for the baby takes one look at him and screams. Now, the look on his face is immediately, preceding that moment. So we did get our point across at a statewide level, and that was the first time we managed to take it to the state. Let all of the states see this at one time. Now, I don't know, why did I bring a picture of a tree? That gets you into, see all spoiled down here. We got winter where I live. I'm talking serious blizzards, ice, snow, that kind of thing. Well, our protest one particular day or 1 month ended up being on 18-degree weather and cold. And that tree symbolizes the next couple of days. That's the condition we were in when they tried to pull onto our site. We're standing out in a snowstorm, awaiting their arrival to get on the land. Obviously, they're in covered vehicles, and they're doing like everybody else does. They stall for 2 to 3 hours before they come for the appointed time and that kind of thing. Continue on. Culmination of the day, which started at 5 o'clock in the morning and ended at 6 o'clock that night. The whole time, all these people were in like 18-degree weather. The culmination of that was we had circled the siting commission. So the gentleman in the center of that picture there on the state siting commission. When the police asked us what we were doing, we said we're not going to let them engage in any activity that's going to result in random murder of our children. And so therefore, we're going to keep for a while. So they didn't want it to be a media event. They didn't want us to get arrested. Basically, it's the plan. The idea is not to get anybody arrested. If you get people arrested, that makes the news. If you have a little minor protest to go home, you can settle that a lot easier. So the siting commission would not tell the state police to arrest us. They wouldn't do it. And the state police would not arrest us upon their home. And we would not leave. And hour after hour after hour dragged on. And about every 2 hours, the police would come back and say, will you let these people go? No. Now, I want you to understand something. In all of our protests, we try to ensure the safety and the comfort of every single person involved. Every single person. The people from the siting commission, the state agencies, even the police, had coffee, soup, blankets, anything they needed, anything their heart desired. They were thirsty, they got something to drink. If they were hungry, they got something to eat. If they were cold, they got a blanket. So we never show animosity toward the opposer. We merely show them kindness, but we show them a firm attitude that you're not bringing it here. Y'all thought you were going to get through this without meeting my family. That's my wife. Ain't you pretty? But when you get the news media involved and they come jumping in and it's, it's a necessary evil, that's what we're doing this for, it can get kind of crowded. So you need to plan for those kind of problems. If you're blocking something, how do you make sure who goes through and who comes out, of a blockade? How do you know who's going into your property, coming out of your property, that kind of thing. So that's one of the things I want to point out. You can see it just keeps getting, every time there's any activity, it just squeezes it in. But most of those people are newspaper reporters and, press reporters. This is, the man in the center is Lieutenant McCall. He is in charge of the state police barracks that service our area. And I took this picture because you can see me over the side here looking like a Marlboro man or something. And he was standing there and somebody said, well, you're going to have to arrest us to make this move. And he kept saying, nobody's asking me, nobody's here wanting to arrest anyone. Nobody said, that's not what I'm saying. He kept backing off and going away. And every time he would come back, we said, the only way we'll move is if you arrest me. Nobody's going to arrest you. Nobody's got anything, press charges against you. And they will push most of the time to hold those arrests off over to go away. Now the problem is, what's the point? If you don't get arrested engaging in civil disobedience, you lose your forum, which is the court socially, to present your problem. And you lose the public sentiment and the press that you receive. So there's a trade-off there. Now we don't always get arrested. Sometimes we work out scenarios that we hope doesn't get anybody arrested. We don't have to get arrested anyway. That's an individual decision. That's something that, each person as an individual says, well, I'll do this or well, I'm not. We don't even expect people to make that decision until they're on the site. We never, say, well, you engage in civil disobedience, so therefore you voice engage in civil disobedience. One time someone may, and sometimes someone might not. Another thing that you weren't going to get away from seeing is Robert E. Lee had Traveler, and I got Shauna Lucy Amigo. This picture. Now, I brought a picture of a horse along for a reason. You never know what's going to get the media's attention. And on one of the occasions of a protest, I was riding around the site on my horse, and the press picked up on it. It made all the networks, and it went all the way across the country on the CBS Morning News. So you always got to keep thinking. Things by accident will happen that will key in a really good play to make for media attention or to explain your fight to someone. So things happen by accident, things happen by intent, but you always got to keep thinking. You just got to keep it always fresh in everyone's mind. You can't just hang on to the same old slogan. You can't hang on to the same old idea and keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Everybody's got to come up with new ideas all the time. I just want to show you some pictures of people's faces. That's the man I said earlier that if I had to write testimonials for, I would know how to do it. And that's Larry Scholes, our county sheriff. The guy right next to him is our problem. He is, I'll try to explain this. He is the citing commission's lackey. Okay, he's the guy that always has to come out and confront us. He really has no power, he really doesn't mean much. But he's the guy they send out to the site to solve all those problems or to try to get on land. That's what we protest against. The lady on the right in the white jacket, Mary Gardner Smith, and she's kind of a neat lady. I'm going to tell you one thing. When you get into some kind of hazardous waste or toxic waste fight, the first thing you find out, no offense to the men, but women will normally, please take the lead in getting the word out and getting people involved. And Mary Gardner Smith is one such person. She helped start the CCAC, which I guess is simply your brother, right? Next picture. Now this lady is fondly referred to in Allegheny County as the Ice Woman. She is Kathleen McMullen, and she is on the State Siting Commission. And she would live right next door to a nuke dump. She would raise her kids in a nuke dump, and she would let her kids drink the nuke dump water. Next picture. This lady is named Sally Campbell, and she picked up on the media aspect of our battle. That lady probably keeps contact with probably 50 to, 45, 50 I lose track after a while. agencies all the way across the country, and they know her by name. I mean, she just hammers it. Look, this is a problem. People need to know about this problem. And that is her particular function. She started with in this fight, and she has carried that through for close to 2 years now. So it's individual people coming up with individual ideas, passing those ideas along, and everybody pushing forward with their ideas. So that a lot of things get done. Next picture. The man in the orange coat right there is Bill Timberlake. He's the undersheriff. He's Larry's assistant. And now you've seen the sheriff and the undersheriff, and you've also seen, as far as patrols go, the Allegheny County Sheriff's Department. That's it. Those two boys. Bill there is kind of giggling because he's watching the barricades form up in front of him. He's there to, to start the arrest scenarios, and there's barricades being built behind him as he sits there. Go ahead. This is a little sign I found kind of neat. Can't fool other neighbors. The idea is you can deregulate things. You can say it's below acceptable standards. Who the hell standards? I don't know if my standards are the same as your standards. What do the standards mean? What do they relate to? What is the scale? How does the scale go up and down? What is the death rate by humans? In the toxic waste issue, I don't know if it's the same for the incinerator issue, but in the toxic waste issue, they will always talk about animal results, what the results of animal investigation are. There's also human material available from workers that work in plants, but they never bring that up. Okay. I try to think of ways of reminding you of all the things we try to take care of at a protest. So you might see me go back to things to do at a protest when I've been talking about something else. But I wanted to make sure you understood, at least from our perspective, we have a lot of county roads, a lot of country roads out there. Everything's dirt, we've got all dirt roads. So when they come out, we do not even impede the progress of the postman, the school buses, nothing. All traffic rolls through and out of the barricades. The only person who's ever stopped is the deciding commissioner of the police, whoever we are protesting against. We never, if we can possibly help it, do anything to cause any discomfort from those people who are not participating or who have, jobs to go to or off their way to school. So when you think, I'm just saying, if you think about continuing this activity, you must assume responsibility for those around you as well as yourself. Go ahead. Well, we had a lot of protests. We kept protesting, and this is at the West Almond site, and you can see he's relatively happy, and this girl's over here singing. She seems pretty elated about the whole thing. The cop doesn't look too happy though. Go ahead. Now see, they were being happy when the cops were carrying them out, and everything's went so good that they're now happy when the cops are coming in. Here, go ahead. So the signing commission said, look at the people in Allegheny County will not let us on the land. Let's go down and talk to them. Let's put an information ban in their community and take it around and sell them on the idea of low-level nuclear waste sitting on County, myself, or someone else take credit for this solution, but this just fell into our hands. There was a man standing on the outskirts of the encirclement, and he's talking to the protesters, and he says, well, they came out of my property and they didn't tell me. Now, you talk about instant fame. This guy was yanked completely over the top